Hi, I'm Andre and I'm a black nerd with a review for you, Leto Reviews. A lot of you have requested for me to review the movie 9 Lives, but instead I'm gonna review Suicide Squad. I'm gonna give you the good, I'm gonna give you the bad, I'm gonna give you the nerdy. And this will be a non-spoiler review, or non-spoiler-ish review. I'm gonna give a couple of plot points away because I just have to for the sake of what I'm trying to say, but I will not give away any major spoilers. And trust me, the plot points I'm gonna tell you, you've heard about them before. But let's start with the good. I can tell you right off the bat, I like this movie better than Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I said it, come at me, bro. There's a lot of times I'm watching this movie that I forget until they make a reference every once in a while that this is in the same universe as Batman v Superman. Yes, there are dark moments here. Yes, it is a dark city, but it still has a unique style of its own. For a movie to have a lot of characters that many people, including myself, may not know the backstory of every single character, I love this crew. I love this squad. Squad goals, I would love to hang out with this squad. Well, maybe not hang out with them because they're pretty dangerous and scary and they kill people. And we hear all this argument about should these superhero movies be dark, or should they be bright, or should they have comedy, or should they have drama. None of that matters when it comes to characters having personalities. And that's what works with this movie. Because whether they're doing something that's kind of dark or they're doing something that's kind of funny, the fact that they have personalities, that's what gets you invested in them, and that's what makes everything they do, both the comedic stuff and dramatic stuff, work. And the way these characters are when they're in fighting mode, when they're in action, is also impressive because the movie kind of knows how to showcase each character. When it's Deadshot, it knows to stay on him so that you can see him just taking people out when he's shooting. When it's Killer Croc, it's a little bit more moving around and you can see that it's very brutal because he's, you know, melee combat. You got boomerang throwing stuff, you got Harley Quinn with her bat and being unpredictable. This team is basically like the DC Comics version of an Overwatch team. Deadshot is your sniper in the back just shooting everybody around. Harley Quinn's like your tracer. Holly here, just you don't know where she's gonna pop up. You got Katana with a sword. Rick Flag is like your Soldier 76. Like this is the Overwatch Suicide Squad style. The only thing they were missing was a healer and somebody in a mech suit. Can we get Diva and Lucio in this movie? But the fact that they had so many characters and that you could learn them all, that is very, very impressive. And I think what helps all of that is this cast. Will Smith has still got it, man. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, the man has had a couple of flops. Anybody that does acting for so long is gonna have a misstep or two, but let me tell the truth. He is so good in this. He's Will Smith, so it's very hard to not see Will Smith. So it's great that in this movie, I saw him as Deadshot. He is really good. You can tell that he wants to stay in this franchise. He's like, I need this DC money. Margot Robbie, loved her as Harley Quinn. She's crazy and weird and over the top, but it's never too much that it's distracting. It's like that nice, perfect balance of, you know, she's crazy, but it's never like taking over the movie. And man, that chemistry between Will Smith and Margot Robbie, man, they got some hardcore chemistry. If I was Jada, I'd be concerned. You better call somebody in Warner Brothers and be like, can we get Fish Mooney in Suicide Squad too? I need to keep track of things. Jared Leto's Joker, I like him. It's gonna be hard, obviously, to follow the footsteps of Heath Ledger. He just had a very iconic version of the Joker. This is a different take, but I enjoyed him and I thought he had good chemistry with Margot Robbie. Like they felt like a couple. They felt like Mr. J, Puddin', and his Harley. It was fine. It's just you don't get enough of it to really make a true judgment. We'll see what happens when they have more Joker-centric stories in future movies. Adewale as Killer Croc was cracking me up. Everything that dude said is like, ain't you scared? What's up? I like her. He's like a cross between that old black man that sits on a porch and Leatherhead from the Ninja Turtles cartoon. I was waiting for him at one moment to just go, I guarantee. I even like Jack Courtney. You know a movie is doing a good job when it makes me like Jack Courtney. He is insane as Captain Boomerang. Jack, just be crazy dudes like this. Don't try to be that leading man. You need to be crazy dude. Go with it. Don't fight it. Jay Hernandez as Diablo. Just everybody, man. Everybody is really good in this. But man, Viola Davis. Woo! Amanda Waller. Oh my gosh, Viola. I love her as Amanda Waller. I hope that she is in more DC movies. I was so scared of her. Like, if I ever see Viola Davis in real life, I think I will now be scared of her because I'm not gonna see Viola Davis like, okay, cool, and she does the show on ABC and she's done some movies and does some cool speeches. Now I'm gonna be like, that's Amanda Waller, get away from me, get away from me. I just really like this cast. I think that they did a good job, and what's nice is that they work well together. There's a couple of scenes where there's not even fighting. It's just straight the squad talking to each other, and I could have just watched that for a long period of time. You can tell the chemistry is there. You can tell that they're having fun with this thing. Everything seems to be working well. There's really only one character in the movie that I don't like. Unfortunately, that's the big problem with this movie. You ever watch a figure skating match and the figure skater is just doing these loops and turns and everything and just landing perfectly and you're like, oh, that's beautiful, that's beautiful. And then there's that one time they fall and they just can't recover from that. They keep trying and you're like, hey, you can keep trying and you look pretty good, but you fell hard and there's just no coming back from that. Suicide Squad did that with Enchantress. You know your movie is doing bad when you've got this evil witch-powered Enchantress being your main villain, and I am more scared of just regular human Amanda Waller. Like Enchantress, I'm like, bring it on. I ain't scared of you, witch, but Amanda Waller walks in, I'm like, bye. So the big problem with Suicide Squad is the one character I don't like, and that's Enchantress. I just could not get behind her character. I don't know if this is a thing with me with superhero movies when magic comes into play, but there's just something about it that feels disconnected from the rest of the movie. Like even with superpowers that some of these people have, it just has this style that fits in its universe, and Enchantress just feels like this whole nother level that we're basically not ready for yet. Like it feels like that's a sequel level of movie and not first movie. Just the character just didn't work for me. And that would be fun if it was just this one random character in the squad, but the problem with Enchantress is she's basically the plot of the movie. Them trailers been lying to you, man. You thinking the Joker is gonna be the main villain in this movie? I'm sorry if this spoils the movie for you, but you need to know this. The Joker is like a supporting character in this movie. He's basically like DLC for this movie. It's like you went to see this movie, you didn't really need the Joker in it, but you paid an extra $3 or you pre-ordered the movie at GameStop and they were like, well, now you get some Joker DLC. He is in there, but he is not the plot. Enchantress is the plot and Enchantress is the problem, because when they focus on Enchantress, it is all about plot point, plot point, plot point, and unfortunately, the plot is the same generic plot we have seen in so many superhero movies and so many action movies where there's one being wants to take over the world, so they go into the city and they land in a building and they build a machine and they shoot a thing in the air and it creates a portal that will then be the key to opening up something or doing something to take over the world, and the crew has to go in and figure a way to shut it down. How many times are we gonna do this plot? The whole time I was watching them do this, I was like, wow, is this happening at the same time where the Ghostbusters are taking care of their portal with Rowan over in this corner, and the Ninja Turtles are taking care of this portal with the Technodrome over in this corner, and the Avengers are about a few blocks down trying to close the portal that Loki opened? How many times do we have to do it? And it's very frustrating to see it in this movie. There's so much unique characteristics about this movie in so many ways it details itself that makes it stand out as a different type of movie from the other movies we've seen. So it hurts when it gets to that plot and it is the same generic stuff over and over again, and it kills the movie. It kills the buzz. You see sprinkles of it in the first half, so you're like, I'm having a good time, but every time I see that sprinkle, I'm going, this is gonna be a problem later. I know it's gonna be a problem later. And by the time it gets to the second half and really the third act of this movie, it's all about that plot. All the other cool stuff falls to the wayside with the exception of one or two scenes, and it just bogs the rest of the movie down. And it's disappointing. Dang it, man. You were right there. You almost had it. Almost got him. There's some other issues with this movie. To say this movie is heavily edited is an understatement. I feel like Katana went into the editing room with her sword and just chopped this movie in several times. It is jump cutty. Things are missing. Characters walk away and then come back. Plot points are all over the place because they have to deal with this freaking Enchantress plot showing all the characters' backstories. You basically get the Cliff's Notes version of that story. I grew up with Harley Quinn. I watched Batman the Animated Series, and I remember when they finally revealed what her backstory was. I thought it was such an interesting story. With this movie, it's like, she's a psychiatrist. She worked with the Joker. They fell in love. Next. It's like, wait. Oh, and I usually don't condone using your cell phone inside of the theater, but if you're watching Suicide Squad, turn on your Shazam app, because this movie plays a pop song like every 5 seconds. If there's any moment that has to happen that doesn't have dialogue, it's like, cue some song from my Spotify playlist. Guess who's back? Back again. You don't own me. Come baby, come baby, baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come, make me love it. You gotta give me something like The Mask here. as a mask in this movie now. Some of the songs work, some of the songs fit perfectly with the movie, and some of them are just like, okay, all right, we're playing a song right now, great. I swear to God, please tell me if you see this movie, if I'm right or not. I swear there was a moment in this movie where I heard the song, or at least a remix version of the song, I saw you and him walking in the rain. You were holding hands and I'll never be the same. I was like, really? We going, whoa, that's an antique. And now for the nerdy. Yes, it's in the same universe as Batman v Superman and the Justice League movie, so expect some references and other things that will remind you that that is the case. Stay around after you're watching the movie. Don't go away just yet. At least watch some of the credits, not all of them, but just a good amount of them, and you may see some extra stuff as well. So I've heard that a lot of critics have been very negative on this movie. Once again, it's another DC movie that's causing controversy between critics and fans and DC fans and Marvel fans, and I don't give a shit. You got me with Ghostbusters, you ain't pulling me back in. The problems I have with this movie are problems that I've had with a number of movies just this summer alone. The issues that I see, particularly in the plot of Suicide Squad, is the same issues I saw in Ghostbusters, the same issues I saw in Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, the same issues I saw in X-Men Apocalypse. There's just something about this particular type of plot that we're just seeing over and over again. It just hurts more with Suicide Squad for me because there's so much good stuff that I liked in Suicide Squad. It's a bummer that it gets completely messed up by the bad stuff that it has in there. I think that there's enough good stuff in it that you will enjoy it, but just be prepared that after a while, or maybe there's just a point you should just leave. Like, watch the first half of this movie and then be like, where's Secret